am one of the lawyers who was representing Mr. Camara.
Tell me a little bit about his case. What exactly happened, the timeline of it all?
Well, if we start from the beginning, Mr. Camara was arrested by the police officers from SPVM on Thursday night. He appeared detained in court on Friday afternoon. There was objection to his release. The evidence was given to our team on that date. The file was postponed to Monday for a follow-up court date before fixing the bail hearing. Bail hearing was then fixed for Wednesday. Between Monday and Wednesday, we received new evidence on Tuesday morning, and then the video on Wednesday morning as well. And on Wednesday, it was fixed for bail hearing. There was this new evidence. Everything was suspended, and in the afternoon, there was the declaration from the Crown Attorney.
So tell me about that. What was the reasoning behind the suspension of all charges?
I cannot speak for the Crown prosecutor, but what I can tell you is from the beginning, the evidence in this file was circumstantial evidence, so it was material evidence, but nothing was pointing directly towards Mr. Camara. There was no direct evidence that he really was the suspect. Then new evidence was being added up to this first evidence that was received, and what we know is that it was just kind of confirming that there was problematic about the identification of the suspect in this file. And finally, the video was confirming some aspect of the evidence. And then there was the declaration that they were no longer able to pursue the accusations against Mr. Camara.
Tell me a little bit about the video and what you can see from that evidence, why it's so clearly not Mr. Camara.
I cannot tell much about this new video just because the investigation is still going on, and we do know that they are going to have to identify probably another suspect. What I can tell you is that it was a surveillance camera that filmed a part of what happened of the altercation, and what we may know or may notice from this video is the presence of a third person, so probably someone else who was the suspect who was present on the scene instead of Mr. Camara. So possible a third person on the scene, and then possible suspect who could eventually be identified.
So tell me, just to clarify, the Mr. Camara, was he always around the scene more as a witness, and that's what had happened, a mistaken of identity? He was trying to help in a sense?
He actually did receive a ticket previously to the altercation. So he did receive a ticket. He may be a witness, but he was then arrested for the infraction. So he is part of the investigation. He may have seen some things, but he did receive the ticket, which is why he was present in the altercation, at the place where the altercation took place.
But ultimately, from the beginning, he was maintaining he did not attempt to murder a police officer.
Exactly. He maintained that he did not do any of the infraction we were reproaching him. So he didn't do anything of what was told. He claimed he was innocent from the beginning. He maintained this version throughout the court procedures. And in the end, he was clearly satisfied and relieved of the decision of the Crown Attorney on Wednesday afternoon.
Just speak to me about Mr. Camara, your client. He doesn't have a criminal past, right? So this is unlike somebody, right? Just tell me about that.
Mr. Camara doesn't have any priors. It was his first time arrested and being detained for anything, any criminal infraction. So clearly all the court procedures were a shock for him. He was traumatized by all of this, and which is why he was really relieved when he finally was released from the courthouse on Wednesday. It's a lot to digest, to be arrested for something you claim you never did, and then being released many days after your arrest.
Now the Mayor Plante, is going to be reacting to this whole procedure, and this of course is traumatizing not only to him but to his family. So is there any sort of way to repair this situation for him going forward, and does he have grounds to sue the city of Montreal?
He may have grounds to sue. I will not speak for or give any detail about the court procedures he could take, or the grounds he could use to pursue either the SPVM or a court, but clearly he has options. He knows his option, and he is now evaluating what he could do next. So there are things he could do. Will he take them? Will he take the measures he is able to take? Time will tell, but for now he knows he has options, and we are giving him some direction he can take just to know exactly what he wants to do next.
Are there damages to him psychologically in that sense?
Clearly psychological damages, because as I said, it was traumatizing for him. He was in shock. He never assumed he was going to be arrested for something like this Thursday night, and that he was going to be remain detained. So clearly he is traumatized, still in shock, clearly relieved of all of this, but affected by all the events that took place.
Lastly, I just want to know what went wrong in the procedural process. What happened? Who is at fault here in that sense?
That is the question we need to ask ourselves. Clearly, what's coming out of all of this is maybe we are forgetting a lot about the presumption of innocence. Someone may be arrested for something, but clearly he is innocent until proven guilty. There was so many things said in the media, so many assumptions made, and now that we have the declaration, things have all switched. So maybe that's just a lesson to we need to learn how to maybe be careful to what is said in the media before he was kind of judged before having his court procedures. So it's kind of a lesson we need to learn now. Who's in fault here? Time will tell. If there's an investigation, public investigation, we'll know more. For now, I think it's fair to ask questions to try and get answers about what happened. With the investigation, but also with the court procedures. But we'll see what answers we will get in time.